These guys, with one exception, Mr. McAtee's company, AT&T, all the other guys just handed over this data. They couldn't do it fast enough. They rushed to do it. They can find you when they want to bill you. They can find you in a heartbeat. When it comes time to protect your data, they're nowhere to be found. It is absolutely a disgrace. And the fact that you testified earlier that you get hundreds of thousands of requests for personal information every year is chilling, because what all your customers should know is you just turn it over willy-nilly. I would expect better from you, from all of you, frankly. I think what you've done here is outrageous, and I think the implications for the privacy of the American people are absolutely unbelievable. Very much, Madam Chair. Thanks to the witnesses for being here. Mr. McAtee, let me just start with you. I just want to try to drill down and get clear on what happened here. When you got a subpoena from Jack Smith for Senator Cruz's records, you pushed back on this. How did you do that? I mean, how did you know it was Senator Cruz whose records were being requested?
In that case, Senator, it was fairly obvious. The subscriber name was Ted Cruz for Senate, so we put it together.
Yeah. Huh. So you thought to actually look at the number and match it up and maybe see if there might be a legal problem here. You asked a few questions. Is that fair to say?
That's correct.
And Senator, what happened next?
What happened next was we did some research, as you would expect any legal department to do. As I mentioned earlier, we consulted with outside experts. We talked among ourselves. And we determined that even though the subpoena was obligatory, that we were required to respond to it, we can always ask a question. And so we asked the question, and we sent an email from my department that I read into the record earlier, asking for special counsel's views on the potential constitutional implications under Article 1.
Did this subpoena include a non-disclosure order with it?
It did, Senator.
But that didn't stop you from conducting a basic inquiry?
No, it did not.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you did the inquiry, because as it turns out, the non-disclosure order was totally illegal. As we've covered now exhaustively in this hearing and in others, statutes in place on the books in 2020 require notification to sitting members of Congress if their information is subpoenaed in any way, not to mention the contract that the Sergeant-at-Arms has with all three of the major telecoms. So I'm glad you did your job. My question for you is, Mr. Miller, why didn't you do any of this?
Senator, at that time, and I recognize we should have had a better process here, but at that time, we did not train our subpoena analysts to do a searching inquiry into the subscriber associated with a particular
What does that mean? What does that mean? You just didn't bother to try and associate the phone number with any name?
Senator, we respect the privacy of our customers, and we did not want...
Apparently not, because you turned over every piece of information from every senator sitting on this dais who got an illegal subpoena. You turned it over with no process at all. So let's skip that part. Just get to the part where you tell me why you didn't do anything that Mr. McAtee did.
Senator, the process we have in place now would largely...
I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in why you didn't do any of the basic investigation. Ask a question, you get a subpoena for all of these numbers, and your testimony is you just handed over the documents, you didn't do anything? Is that what happened?
3 reasons. Senator. So first, when we receive a subpoena, we do not know the nature of the investigation or the sensitivities involved. Second, as I mentioned, we train our subpoena analysts to respect the confidentiality and the privacy of our
So you don't try to match up, you don't look and match up the numbers. You're telling me you don't try to associate a number with a name. You don't do that.
No, Senator. We do now for members of Congress, but that was not the procedure at the time.
Really? Because you testified to Senator Durbin not long ago that you disclosed all of the names to this committee of all of the people who are associated with the numbers, including mine. So clearly you had the ability to do it, you just didn't do it. Is that correct?
We had the ability to do it, yes.
But
Senator.
you didn't do it.
We thought we had good reasons for that, Senator.
Why is that? You don't have any problem associating names with accounts when you go to bill people, which you do every month. I seem to recall getting a bill from you monthly. You had no problem associating my name with my number when you wanted money from me. But when it came to protecting the basic rights of your consumers, your subscribers, your customers, you couldn't be bothered?
No, Senator, I would not say that.
I would. I think I just did.
I would too.
Senator.
Why didn't you follow the contract that you have with the United States government? You've got a contract worth millions of dollars with the United States government, which obligates you to inform the Sergeant-at-Arms if you get any requests for processor information from a senator or any number associated with that contract. That contract was in place, and that language was in place when these subpoena requests came through. and you didn't do any of it. Why is that?
Senator, I don't agree that we.
You don't agree with what?
That we violated the contract.
Really?
With the
The
Senate.
contract says that you are obliged to inform the Senate when any records are demanded. And I'm quoting here from a letter not from Senator Graham, not from a Republican. It's from Senator Ron Wyden, who sent a dear colleague letter to every member of the United States Senate May 21st, 2025, notifying us that these contract terms were being regularly violated by your company, among others. So why didn't you follow the contract that you were making millions of dollars on? Why didn't you do that?
Senator, I get your frustration with this issue, but the contract.
No, I just want the truth. I'm frustrated because we get the runaround constantly. We've gotten it all day from you. So why didn't you follow the contract?
Senator, the contract covers a definition of Senate data. At this time, we did not interpret the contract to apply to the
phone lines?
To the kind of records that Verizon generates, as opposed to records.
Oh, for heaven's sake. This is just absurd. And I'll just say this, Madam Chair. We're talking here about members of Congress. If you are a normal person, if you are a working person out there, just think of the fact that these guys, with one exception, Mr. McAtee's company, AT&T, all the other guys just handed over this data. They couldn't do it fast enough. They rushed to do it. They can find you when they want to bill you. They can find you in a heartbeat. When it comes time to protect your data, they're nowhere to be found. It is absolutely a disgrace. And the fact that you testified earlier that you get hundreds of thousands of requests for personal information every year is chilling, because what all your customers should know is you just turn it over willy-nilly. I would expect better from you, from all of you, frankly. I think what you've done here is outrageous, and I think the implications for the privacy of the American people are absolutely unbelievable. Thank you, Mr. McAtee, for protecting your customers. I wish these other guys would do the same. I tell you what, everybody ought to go to AT&T, because Verizon and whoever you are, T-Mobile, you guys are terrible. Thank you, Madam Chair.